Who Framed Roger Rabbit 25th anniversary. Blu-ray for the first time ever. This digitally restored, remastered edition of Who Framed Roger Rabbit practically jumps off the screen with its brilliant picture, rich sound, and dangerous curves. It's 1947 Hollywood, and Eddie Valiant, Bob Hoskins, a down-on-his-luck detective, is hired to find proof that Marvin Acme, a gag factory mogul and owner of Toontown, was playing a hanky-panky with femme fatale Jessica Rabbit, wife of maroon cartoon superstar Roger Rabbit. When Acme is found murdered, all fingers point to Roger, and begs the Toontown Toon-hating Valiant to find real evildoer, complete with hours of bonus footage, including 3 digitally restored Roger Rabbit shorts. Well, yeah, you can figure it out. This is pure magic and high-def Blu-ray. This is a movie that's 100% worthy of a 4K, period. But I've seen some of this. When I was younger, I think I recall catching some of it, but I didn't understand like what was happening. Cut to 2017 to 2020, somewhere in there, I see like the last 20 minutes of it. I'm like, I don't understand the appeal of this. Now that I do, that it's half tribute to all the cartoons of the past, and also a tribute to noir, film noir, neo-noir. This movie is freaking great. So obviously, it's a love letter to all to both Disney and Looney Tunes. What we get is a great amalgamation of all, like saying, hey, you have Heat, you have freaking Thief, you have Bugs Bunny. But at the same time, this movie has its own identity. It's both a parody and a tribute to all the cartoons and the film noir. So, obviously with film noir, you have the drinker, you have the man who's down on his luck. I mean, he's obviously even drinking, even referencing, hey Eddie, I think we should call you Jack Daniels, obviously. But when he receives a chance to make $100 to figure out, like, saying, hey, I was, like, when Jessica Rabbit was framed by someone, I'm like, okay, who could it be? So obviously it's Judge Doom, but we're not sure of the, I wasn't sure of the degree of what he was doing. Obviously he's got the hat, the sunglasses, and the suit that Christopher Lloyd looked great in, along with in Quicksilver Highway. Here he plays a great villain. So refined, but evil at the same time, not even blinking, which Lloyd did to add a true air oxygen of malice. When he dips the shoe, the dip, which is, I forgot the name of it, but you're here to see the cartoon aspect of it, and the blending of the car. That's right here. When you're looking at the car, it's voiced by Charles Fletcher. But I don't know who that is, but when you also get Jessica Rabbit, I mean, probably the crush of many impressionable young men in the 1980s. Then also at the same time, you get to see the distinct styles of animation, which I saw on the IMDb as having Looney Tunes style characters, with Roger Rabbit having the more wild Tex Avery style movement and lucidity, I guess, and the Walt Disney smooth animation. So you get an interesting genre mix-up, which I'm like, okay, this is really dang cool. So it's a nice tribute to everything, and yeah, obviously, you're here for the animation, the cartoons, and Roger Rabbit is really cool, playing the frantic, desperate type that likes to make people laugh. Then, of course, you get all the cameos. You get Droopy the dog. Hello, I'm Droopy. Plays an elevator, bellhop elevator person, whatever. You get Tweety Bird, who removes all the fingers of Bob Hostis Costas. I taught Putty Tat, this little piggy. And so it's like, you got just the legendary moments. I mean, you can get freaking. My personal favorite was kind of in the beginning was Donald Duck and Daffy Duck trying to outwit one another, playing the piano and stuff. So great. And of course, Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny parachuting of all things. I mean, when it's in Toontown, we get all the different stylings come together, and I'm just thinking, yes, I think I remember that. I didn't know what was going on, but now that I'm older, I'm like, oh yeah, this was the coming together of all the stuff from the 50s and 60s. I'm like, good stuff right here, And of course, there's also a tribute to all the film noir stars back then. Edward G. Robinson, yeah, Sheen, yeah. James Cagney, Humphrey Bogart, so many others too, of course. Playing with all the motifs of like having the bar, having the dame, if you will. And seeing is down out of luck, so he does the work, but it's like the blending of the two genres that are so good, which I just keep going on and on about. I'm sorry, I've reviewed 6 previous movies. I need some more to keep me going on. It's after midnight on a Sunday before work. I'm a little fatigued, but the humor in here is pretty good. My personal favorite is when there's some weasels that are coming in to try and find Roger. So Costas has him underwater and he's washing his lingerie. Now, meanwhile, that Roger, when Costas takes a hacksaw trying to remove the handcuffs, Roger manages to slip out completely free. I'm just like, logic of cartoons, I'll tell you that much. And we do get a good climax with Judge Doom, who, of course, we get in the stereotypical film noir fashion. He manages to buy the rights to Toontown. It will legally be his unless a will is procured from Marvin Acme and some person named Maroon. So it's got all the stylings and behind the scenes shady stuff happening, but just done in such a fun way. I'm just like, and of course it's revealed that Judge Doom is a cartoon character, over the top one. He gets involved in Dip, and at the end we get all the cameos from everyone, so it's happily ever after. So we get, Woody Woodpecker, we get to see Mickey and Minnie, we get to see pretty much all the Looney Tunes except for Tasmanian Devil. Whatever. So yeah, it's pretty much a love letter to all that. The reason why a lot of them appear in pairs is that both Universal, Disney, Paramount, whoever owns them, said, hey, don't let any more have this. Let them both have as amount of base amount of screen time possible, and so that's why they often appear in pairs. So I think that was handled brilliantly, and this was also done for a test market of 18 and 19-year-olds at the time, and they probably didn't understand what was going on, so they booed it, and but ultimately Robert Zemeckis said, yeah, we're not removing anything. So yeah, if you don't understand like the tropes of the cartoons from back in the day or film noir shows, you're not going to get it, but for someone having seen it for the first time, this was great. Give it a watch.